It is blueprints, it is day 52, and we are going for the drafting sweepstakes. So in order to get the drafting sweepstakes, you have to draft 20 or more dead ends, and so that's what we're going to do. Right out the gate, we get the study. The study is crucial if you're going to try to go for the drafting sweepstakes. You need a combination of the study as well as the laundry. So I have switched my Banner of the King to yellow in the hopes of getting the laundry. I froze myself yesterday, and so I have 123 coin and 7 gems. I purposely left my allowance on the table because I didn't necessarily need more money at this point, and if everything goes to plan, I will be able to pick it up in a minute. There's the laundry. There we go. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to switch our gems for keys. We have 7 gems at this time, so now we will have 7 keys. Now with the remaining 118 coin that we have, we're going to switch our coin to gems. Now that we have switched our coins for gems, we have 113 gems, and we are all squared away for as many redraws as we want. So now that we have all of our gems, we are just going to start drafting in a way that will help us get our dead ends. And so over here on the far right side, or the 5th file, I want to keep going up and then have my dead ends going towards the center. I draft the showroom here because I have my allowance still back at entrance hall, and if there's something here that I want, and there is something here that I want the drafting compass. This is the final piece in order to have a successful attempt at the drafting sweepstakes. The drafting compass will allow you to rotate the floor plans of the first 3 options. And so rotating the first 3 options will allow me to set the door the way that I want it to go. And so I'm going to go back into the showroom and buy the drafting compass, and then we should be all set to get this drafting sweepstakes. So what I'm trying to do now is I want to be able to go up, and I want to be able to go over. And so I'm using my drafting compass to rotate the gift shop to the way that I want it to go, which is up and to the left. So now that I have a door going up on the 5th rank and on the 3rd file here, I want to keep moving forward and set myself up so that I can draft multiple dead ends. I've got the hallway here, which is what I want to do, but I want to rotate it so that it goes up and down. I want it to go down because I want to put that dead end either there, or I want to rotate over to the 1st file, depending on whether I get a good room or not here. And so I'm hoping to get a good room like bedroom, or there's bedroom, just like I asked for. And so I wanted to go the direction the casino is going. I decided to go with casino here because I want to get some of the gold. So now I have a little bit more gold, and if I want to, I can use this to buy something, or I can use it in the laundry room again. What I'm going for here is a T-shaped room so that I can do a dead end above it and a dead end below it. Conference room works perfectly here. This needs to be a dead end, and clock tower is a perfect dead end. I'm going to run upstairs and see what it gives me in the clock tower. There's always an item at the top of the clock tower. It can be something as lame as coins, or it can be something as cool as the stopwatch. So the stopwatch is really cool. What the stopwatch does is it is a 1-minute timer, where during this 1-minute timer you do not use your resources. So you do not use steps, you do not use gems on the cost of rooms, and you do not use keys on the cost of rooms. You have to have the key in order to get in there, but after you get in there, it doesn't cost you one of those keys. What I'm looking for here is a good dead end, and storeroom gets me that dead end. A couple of resources in here. Still have 27 seconds, so I'm going to try to draft at least one more room. I'm going to go through the casino here and draft out of the hallway. What I'm hoping for in hallway is another T-shaped room. The aquarium is just that, but I want it to go up and a little bit left. And so now the next room that I want a room that goes up and to the right as a T-shaped room. Drawing room goes up and to the left, but I use my drafting compass and rotate it so it goes the way that I want. So now that I have the drawing room done, I'm able to draft up and to the right. So I'm going to go to the top first and see what kind of options it gives me. So I don't have any T-shaped rooms, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but I do have a left room and I do have a right room. So I'm thinking, ultimately, I'm going to rotate the observatory, and I'm going to use the observatory and see what I can get out of the stars in the observatory. So let's go look in the telescope. We have 30 stars today, and 30 stars gets us 50% off the gift shop. Apples are tastier, and 1 key. So now I'm up to 9 keys. So I should be pretty set on keys. In this spot, I'm looking for a T shape again, so one that goes up and one that goes down, so that I can dead end on both the up and the down. West Wing Hall is perfect here. West Wing Hall only comes up in the West Wing, and it is a free room. It doesn't cost any gems. I need a dead end here, and so Greenhouse is a dead end, and I'm hoping that I get some good items out of Greenhouse. I'm able to get a sledgehammer, that's pretty sweet. A couple gems in here. All in all, Greenhouse was a good dead end there. As you can see, I still have a room out of aquarium that is a dead end spot, but I'm going to wait to draft out of there just because I know that it's a dead end, and I can come back to that later on when I have more dead ends available in my draft pool. This spot right here, I'm debating between corridor and gymnasium. I want to go up, but at the same time, I'm contemplating if I want a room that goes to the right as well. And so ultimately what I decide here is I decide to go with corridor. And the reason I decide to go with corridor is because I can draft a dead end room out of the foundation. And so it's important to remember that you can draft out of the foundation. And so the foundation, where I have it here, can give me 3 separate dead end rooms. And so I didn't need to waste the gymnasium at this point because I can still draft out of the foundation. In this spot here, I want something that continues to go north. And so dead end goes to the right. None of these options are what I'm looking for. And so because none of these options are what I'm looking for, I'm going to use one of my redraws. I have 8 redraws per door, and so because I have 8 redraws per door, I can use them quite liberally. And so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use one of my redraws. Veranda goes straight up, but at this spot, I think I want one that goes straight up and to the right, so I want one of those T-shaped doors. And so I'm not going to go with veranda at this point. I'm going to do another redraw. I have 100 left. None of these work. None of these work. Definitely don't want to do ballroom here. Gymnasium. Glad I didn't use it on the one before, because now it's in a great spot. Sweet, no security doors, so I can either go up or I can go right. If I go straight up, I believe I want a dead end there. If I go right, I believe I want a dead end here. I like locksmith here because I have the ability to buy a secret garden key, and a secret garden key might be useful to me on the 5th file over there in order to try and get a nice T-shaped door. And so I buy the locksmith, and I'm going to come back and hopefully buy a secret garden key. In this spot here, it is a dead end or a right turn. If it's a dead end, then I'm not going to have a location one spot to the right, but that's okay. You don't need all 45 slots in order to get the drafting sweepstakes. So we go with walk-in closet there. Now you can see from the foundation I have the spot to the left and the spot above it that I can draft from. I just need to figure out a way to get to the foundation. So I either need a key card or I need the security and utility room combination in order to not have to use a key card. So I'm going to wait to draft out of the drawing room here because I want to go to the aquarium and draft out of the aquarium. This seems like a good spot for the garage. I can get some extra keys, then I will have 8 keys and I'll be much more set up for the right side over there where I might need additional keys. Alright, going to draft out of the gift shop here, and what I'm going for is a good right turn. If I get the good right turn here, that will allow me to put a dead end or go up from that 4th file. And so part of me wants to do Nook here because I get the 2 keys, but ultimately I decide I'm not going Nook here. I'm going to use one of my rerolls, and now that I've used a reroll, I've got Parlor and I've got Break Room and I've got Cloister. Cloister is a definite no. I already have a door from the up, so I'm going to go Break Room here. I went Break Room here because I want to get either a silver key or a prism key so that I can then go up to the locksmith and have a better chance at getting the secret garden key. So now it's time to do some math. So this square, it's not a squared, it's a reverse the numbers. And so this one would be 9 times 9 is 81, reverse the numbers is 18. Bummer, I don't get my prism key or my secret garden key or my silver key. I get 2 keys, so now I'm up to 10 keys. This is a good spot for something that just goes up. I don't necessarily want the passageway here because I already have a door out of chapel. And so bedroom is the clear winner here. Now going up, I think I want another up room, something like kennel or rumpus room. Definitely don't want the throne room. Kennel goes straight up, but at the same time now I'm kind of thinking I want something that goes up and right, and so I'm getting greedy. I'm using my rerolls, and I got 4 left here. Do I keep staying greedy? Yeah, we're staying greedy on this. Let's get it going. Come on, give me a tea room. Give me a tea room. There's boiler room and dining room, but they don't go the right way. And my greed got the best of me. So now I'm going to have to do a dead end here, and planetarium is the only dead end. And so that's what I got to go with. Drafting out of the chapel here, and I go with kennel rather than courtyard. And it's important that I didn't burn a door on courtyard. If I would have done courtyard, that door to the left would have been a dead door going into the bedroom there. So I wanted something that goes straight up. Just like in this spot, I wanted to go with veranda because it goes straight up. Now is the time for courtyard because it gives me a door that goes up and a door that goes left. This was the time to utilize the courtyard rather than to burn it before. Oh man, because I had veranda going, I get my 2 gems that I always would get here, and I get a metal detector, and I get a shovel. Man, I love veranda. Veranda just makes green rooms so cool. So in this spot here, I want something that goes forward that will allow me to get my dead end right next to the observatory, or I could do a dead end here. Either way, I'm only getting one dead end out of these two spots. So I decide I want to do the passageway into a bedroom. And the bedroom that I'm looking for is either the master bedroom or the servants' quarters or the bunk room, because it's worth 2 rooms. We're doing bunk room, baby. 2 gems, not like I needed any gems, but at least I got a couple of gems. Now I'm gonna go and draft up out of the courtyard, and what I'm hoping for there is a straight up room. Again, because I have the foundation to draft out of, I don't need to go to the left, I just need to go straight up. Rumpus room goes straight up. Ooh, but I'm kind of low on steps, so do I go with master bedroom here? 30 steps is still plenty of steps. I don't really need master bedroom yet. So I'm going rumpus room. Up to 28 coins now. And so now I'm looking for something again that goes up into the corner, but also something that goes to the left so I can get in that 4th file. None of these go up, so that is a clear redraw. None of these go up, so this is a redraw. Redraw again. All right, now we get some up rooms. Security, dark room, or pool. If I go security, I will have 1/2 of the security and utility closet. So if I get any security doors, I'll be able to bypass those. So I'm going security here. And look at that, a security door. So now in order to get that upper right corner, I'm going to need the utility closet. So that's on my mind. I need the utility closet. This is a good spot for a up and to the right. But at the same time, if I use dining room here, I can also go down and possibly into the foundation if I'm not lucky enough to draft the utility closet. Also, dining room was a great choice because I'm down to 27 steps. Can eat my dinner, and because I have the showroom, I get an extra 10 steps, up to 57 steps. Should be plenty good on steps. I now have 5 keys and only 2, 4, 6 rooms available that are in the higher ranks. So unless we get super unlucky here, we should be all set on keys. This is a dead end spot, and so none of those were dead ends. So I'm going to keep redrawing until I get a dead end. Nursery is good. I get 5 steps out of it, and I get, a vault key. All right. In case I get the vault, I'll have a vault key to use. So that's pretty cool. So now what I need is I need the utility closet. In order to draft out of the security, I need the utility closet. So I'm going to go draft out of the dining room here, and I'm going to hope that I get the utility closet. Well, there's the regular closet, but I want the utility closet. So that's not a good spot for it. So I'm going to use one of my redraws here and see what we can get. There's a part of me that wants to draft into the foundation so that I can get those other 2 spots. But no, I get the utility closet here, and this is exactly what I wanted to do. This will allow me to draft in that upper right corner, and I will be able to go down and around and come up through the foundation and draft 2 dead ends out of my foundation. So in order to do that, I must now go over to the security computer and change the offline mode to unlocked. Now that the offline mode is unlocked and we've done the utility closet, the security doors will be unlocked. So now we go to this unlock security door. Even though furnace is a dead end, I don't want to do furnace because I don't want to get more red rooms. I just need a good dead end here. And finally I get a dead end. I get guest bedroom. And so when I do guest bedroom, I'm going to get 10 steps for that, and I'm going to get 5 steps for having the nursery, and I get a gem there. All in all, a great room. So now what I need to do is I need to draft my final 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms, and I have to run all the way down to the outside and go through the secret underground tunnel in order to get to the foundation. But first what I got to do is I got to make sure I go to the outer room and draft from the outer room. The outer room also counts as a dead end, so it's super important to remember, draft your outer room. Most of the time I would say draft your outer room at the very beginning of your day, but if you're going for the drafting sweepstakes, sometimes what you might want to do is you might want to wait until the middle when you get the sign of the cross, and then you want to go outside and draft the shelter so that you don't feel the negative effects of the archives or the weight room. So at this point I'm going outside. It doesn't really matter what room I have out here except for the freezer. Definitely don't want to draft the freezer out here again because that will prohibit me from using any of my gems, and I want to be able to use my gems on these last few rolls to make sure that I get dead ends. I choose not to have any of those, and I'm like, I want to go tomb because tomb is cool. I like a black floor plan, and tomb is a black floor plan, so I go with tomb. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spots left, and I'm counting my dead ends now. I think that I'm at 16 dead ends, and so if I do my last 4, I think I will be at 20. So in order to do that, I need to go up through the foundation, and so I'm going to go down these stairs and to the right here, and I was able to break this because I had a power hammer. And if you have the power hammer, you can get this secret entrance into the basement. Once you're in the basement, you can walk over to the door that you had to unlock with the basement key, and you can go over to the elevator lift and call the elevator down and use the lift here to go up into the foundation. Once you are up in the foundation, you can draft out of there just like you were drafting out of any room. And in my circumstance, I have 2 spots that I want to draft out of, and both of those spots need to be dead ends. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the right here, and I'm going to draft hopefully a dead end. All right, and closet is a dead end, so I'm going to go with closet here. It doesn't really matter what I get out of here. I'm all set on resources. I don't need any additional keys. I need another dead end here. None of those are dead ends. None of those are dead ends. Ooh, servants' quarters is a dead end. Let's see how many keys I get out of servants' quarters. I started with 3 keys, and now I have 10 keys, so 7 keys. Pretty good haul out of servants' quarters, not that I need it. And so now I just have the room out of the drawing room and the room out of entrance hall, and so I'm going to run back over there now and get those last 2. When you're doing the drafting sweepstakes run, one of the things that I have found is you need to be comfortable going back and forth. You need to have enough steps and have the wherewithal to not draft in a spot until you have to. And so in this circumstance, I didn't know whether or not I would need a route out of the drawing room in order to continue my draft, and so that's why I waited out of the drawing room. I was able to, out of the chapel, draft a route so that I didn't need to have a route out of the drawing room, but I saved it in case I did need that. And so now I'm going up and I have this 1 room out of entrance hall where I need to put a dead end here. Let's do wine cellar. It's a dead end. I don't need the gem, so I'm not even going to bother going in there. I just have my 1 room left out of the drawing room, and so got to run up there through the spare room, go into the den, hang a left, into the chapel, go through the showroom. Now that I'm through the showroom, I'm in my gift shop. Gift shop goes to the hallway. Hallway into aquarium, aquarium into drawing room, And now my last dead end that I need in the drawing room. It gives me cloister. I don't want cloister. I don't want any of these. And so I use my redraw, and coat check it is. I'm going to use the coat check, and I am going to put my vault key in the coat check because I didn't draft a vault. And so I'm going to take out my telescope, and I'm going to go upgrade one more time my planetarium, and then I'm going to call it a day. Alright, I have drafted all of the available rooms except for that one to the left of the antechamber. I've got my telescope in hand, and so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize my telescope and go into the planetarium and get an additional upgrade. So when I go into the planetarium and look through the telescope, I get to see the planet that will now give me a trunk the next time I walk into the planetarium. I'm going to walk into the break room and call it a day in the break room. Before I do so, I'm going to again look and see my blueprint and count my rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I believe I have 20. So now I call it a day, and I'm going to see what blueprints tells me. Did I get my 20 dead ends? Oh baby, I got my 20 dead ends. Let's go! So now with my 20 dead ends, the only thing I need to do now is start up the next day, draft the mailroom, and collect my trophy. What a successful day. 44 rooms, 114 steps, 8 items. I even found a new room. Don't know which room I found that was new, but that's pretty cool. So we're going to start up the next day, and all I'm going for now is trying to draft the mailroom. The mailroom is where the trophy should be. And so here we are starting up day 53, and all I'm going for is the mailroom. So starting up the next day, pretty excited, just drafted all 20 dead ends. So now all I'm going for is trying to get the mailroom so I can see if my trophy has arrived. So I move my banner of the king to blue so that I'm more likely to get blue rooms, which would be the mailroom as a blue room. I'm a little worried here that I might have dead-ended myself on the right side, but never to worry. I get the nook here. I get the mailroom. And inside the mailroom, what do we see? The trophy of drafting for winning the drafting sweepstakes. Let's go! When you get the drafting trophy, there will also be the drafting strategy envelope here. You do not have to open it right now. You can put it back down and open it another day when you draft the mailroom. I waited, and then I drafted the mailroom a couple days later, and I was able to use that in conjunction with freezing myself, and I was able to get the trophy of wealth at the same time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment, give a like, subscribe. If you like seeing Blueprints commentary like this, I've got plenty more videos on my channel, and hope to see you soon.